Retro anime. How did we find it? How does it hold up? Unpacking the ins and outs of being an old school nerd and proving that 80s kids can't remember a damn thing right. These are the mindless midlife musings of the anime nerd. Retro anime. How did we find it? How does it hold up? Unpacking the ins and outs of being an old school nerd and proving that 80s kids can't remember a damn thing right. These are the mindless midlife musings of the anime nerd.
Welcome to Mindless Midlife Musings of the Anime Nerd. I'm Rick, and I'm joined by the rest of our panel, Lynette, Brian, and Vic. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Today, we're traversing the stars with intergalactic man of mystery Guy, as he and his partner Raina seek the ultimate score in Guy Double Target. Guy Double Target is actually a compilation name for two OAVs starring the titular character Guy, first being Guy Awakening of the Devil, with episode 2 being Guy 2 Second Target. The 2-episode hentai OVA was created and directed by Yorihisa Uchida, known for his character designs on Jushin Liger, Armor Police, Metal Jack, Legend of Lion, Flare, and Geppy X, and more. And also Masami Obari, who did some of the character design for some of the creatures and things in this. So, I have two conflicting release dates for episode 1. It either premiered in December of 1988 or April of 1990. And episode 2 in July of 1992. So it took a significant amount of time to get to episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
The series was licensed in 1997 by Soft Cell Pictures, a division of ADV, and it has the distinction of being their very first dub. So the plot follows Guy and Raina as they head on different adventures, seeking glory and fortune, and finding arguably chaos along the way. Yes, down front.
Is it Raina or Rayla?
Rayla, I hardly know her. So look, here's the deal.
Because on the title cards on the second episode, it spelled it Rayla.
Yeah, and that is one of the many, many fun little tidbits about this that, remains to be discussed. In the Japanese release, it's Rayla, and for the subtitle or the dub, both, they went with Raina. Most people just attribute to a mistranslation. I don't know.
We call her Riri. Can we call her?
Sure.
We can call her whatever we want, really. I don't think they're coming for us, despite the to be continued.
Yeah. So did y'all watch it? Were y'all able to watch it?
I watched it dubbed because you insisted I should, and
Yes.
I'm very glad you did.
The only person who didn't was
Well, Vic
did
definitely
not-
watched it subbed.
I watched it subbed as well.
There you go. So we got two. We
How
got half
y'all
the
able-
panel. Were
It
the
was like a
subtitles pretty
roulette
jacked?
for the subtitles, though.
Oh, sorry.
I went over. I had to go to the. It's so funny. I
Search?
had to go to the ass subtitles,
Yeah. Appropriate.
Not the other
Appropriate
one.
file format.
not the bow sub.
So the thing with this anime is that you're not gonna find it. It's not easy to find. So don't try. It's not. And if you do, well, we'll get there. All right. So Episode 1. Episode 1 unfolds Guy and Raina head to a galactic prison planet, Geo, to search for, I guess, what is an eternal youth formula created by an infamous doctor. And what should have been a simple salvage operation, break in, do their thing, turns out to be a shit show.
all right, but they
yeah.
get this tip to go there because they visit a derelict ship.
Right. They're raiding. I want to say they don't really dig too far into this. They're like raiding a ship or like just casually walking around, and they don't really like establish what they were there for. But oh my god, we just gotta
Yo.
open with this, man.
Yeah, guns blazing, and I'm
This
not
dub.
even talking about ammunition. I'm talking about I'm talking about the first thing you hear a guy says is,
This fucking dub. Go ahead, B. What does he say?
is how. This is why I was saying we got to watch a dub, because he's supposed to like her, right?
They're partners.
This is his partner.
They're like partners.
He's like, don't get your fucking panties in a wad. That's the first thing he says to his partner.
Then he comments on her vibrators.
Yo, second part.
No, you're like the next line out of his mouth. He's commenting
Right,
on
so what happens is they open the door and a dead body comes out to him, and she screams, and she's like, "Hey, listen, let's get out of here. This whole place rubs me the wrong way." And he replies, "The only thing that rubs you the right way is your vibrator." I'm like, what?
So this is a good time to point out the dub took some creative liberties. Script
Yeah,
that are
'cause that
Some,
wasn't in
it
dub
sounds like
at
it's
all.
almost up there with like the Ghost Stories dub.
No, okay, so I thought that too. I was like, is this gonna be like Ghost Stories? And it's not. But
Oh, good.
it's I mean, it's like they started. It's like you could see why the ADV trend went there. Man, there's just it's a work of art.
It is the
Yeah.
most crass.
Yeah.
Like,
It's very 90s.
no,
Yeah.
it's 80s.
It's like
It's
It's-
80s. It's not 90s. 90s
they,
was chill compared to this one.
they
Just
really
saying
do.
because it was a 90s dub.
Without a doubt, it was. But boy, do they! It must have been written by somebody that was like a little older in the '80s because they were very much into it. It's a piece of work. This dub is a piece of work. And if this were a different anime, I would tell everybody to watch this dub. But we'll get there. So
We'll get there.
this, they get some information from a rotting corpse that is a monster. Just conveniently is able to say exactly where they need to go, and
His response is, "This is it. This sounds interesting." Title card. My gosh.
So then they skip over it entirely, but they somehow get themselves arrested, imprisoned.
They get themselves smuggled into the prison.
They smuggle themselves into prison, which is probably not something a lot of people do. So it can't be that difficult. And we're introduced to this through Raina's eyes, as she is thrown into Gen Pop with all the male inmates. Now, in the dub, they're very quick to behave as though she's a male inmate and that they're unaware that she's a female inmate.
Right. But
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
did
the
we get
sub
here?
didn't do that. The sub treated her
I
like a
know,
female.
like a female inmate right from the get-go.
What?
No. In the dub, they have everyone calling her boy, and they're like it's very important to them that they emphasize the fact that she's a boy, so they say it like a bunch of times until the big guy sticks his hand down her pants, and then you're just like, and then he's like, "Oh,
You're gonna find out."
Yeah.
Like they said boy so much, I was like, is she a boy?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it really it's so guys, you're gonna have to because they had a lot of fun with this dub.
I
That's
feel
all I'm
like if
saying.
you watch that dub too much, you might get put on a list or something. 'Cause
You might, you just might.
It's highly
So-
possible. Like we can't even say no.
Yeah, we can't say no. We can't.
Like
So
it was written on papers that was just cum drenched from Harvey Weinstein's island. That's how
It's so
bad it
bad.
is.
It's really bad. I watched this originally in the 90s in Japanese. So I was very excited to hear that they had a dub, and then I was extra excited to hear that they had a bad dub when Brian told me that I should watch it dubbed. I was like, okay, well, he wouldn't have told me that if it wasn't absolutely amazing. So I was very happy to jump onto that. But I hadn't
So-
seen it since the 90s when I watched it the first time.
Oh, go to the gym pop.
Yeah, she goes in the Gen Pop, is immediately sexually assaulted, but then rescued by a
But
guy
then-
who's
but-
already there.
But she is. I can't tell you the wanton looks of lust that these male inmates had for another male inmate that was coming
They'd
in
been
the
there a
pod.
while, I think. Like they must have been there like they were
It's in
past
the
that point.
dark.
I
You
mean,
know.
All holes have been
Yo.
worn out.
All things can feel the same in the
And-
dark, you know?
and I feel like when they dubbed this, they just thought, fuck it. We'll just if they think she's a boy, then it'll make sense why she's in Gen Pop. And then that was their thinking. And didn't think the rest of that through. They were just like, how are we gonna write this female character being put in a male Gen Pop? So that's how I think they chose to do it. Not successfully, but that's what they chose to do. So, nevertheless, they are going to sexually assault the girl, and her buddy Guy, her bestest friend in the whole wide world, he comes to her rescue.
After he's
And
been sitting there
conveniently
for a
late.
while.
He's been there a while. You could, yeah.
Yes.
Like I don't,
He's just chilling, you know.
yeah, I don't like how did they like stagger their entrance? Was he like just wait here on the ship for like 3 weeks? I'm gonna go in first.
Right.
And then they did not break that. And it's
No
important to note,
explanation.
listen, I gotta tell you, all right, so the dub for this, and I'm referencing the quality of the dub a lot because it definitely affected my viewing experience. The dub for this it's not like the actors in it are bad. The voice actors in it they've done a ton of work, right? These are well-versed anime voice actors. They were just directed really badly because I don't know what the fuck voice Rob Mungle was doing. He played Guy. I don't know what the fuck voice he was doing, but it was this weird sort of like 1950s gangster meets. I don't know what the fuck. It was weird.
Soldier
very-
of Fortune. It's
Right,
like
like
and the
they
thing
were
is,
really
we never really do this, but we never really talk about how characters are animated. We're expecting people to go out and see this.
just
Picture the most angriest version of Vegeta you can find.
Right. Yes. So this Guy character. Now, this is a great time, Brian, and I'm going to jump on this. This is a great time to discuss it. The character design and artwork for this animation, this 2-episode OAV, is fantastic. Like it's
Okay.
highly detailed. It's kinetic. There's a lot of really good action. Like it's really pretty. With the sound off, it's really pretty.
With the sound off.
And
Imagine
Brian's right.
sleeping
It's
with-
like an
yeah.
angry Vegeta.
The eyebrows. Oh my
Right.
gosh. As soon as I saw his face, I was like, oh, who's he mad at? Even when he's smiling, I was like,
Like,
Perpetual
imagine
angry
you were sleeping with Jennifer Lopez, and she has the voice of Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh man.
All the parts are there, and then it opens its mouth, and you're like,
No, out.
So like a lot of the characters, I mean, the characters are very indicative of Uchida's style, right? Metal Jack. Like if you've seen any of his other work, like that is his style. I want to say that like to anybody who's never seen his work, really, it's sort of it's similar in like level of detail to like Yurotsuki Dojo, right? Like the character designs, they could exist in each other's worlds. I feel like, but
And it was a
Especially-
fairly common design back then too.
yeah,
especially the androgynous nature of all characters.
right.
Only one that doesn't get that treatment is Guy.
Right, Guy's the only one of the main characters that doesn't. So yeah,
Yeah,
we are
but
introduced.
Yeah. Right.
We are introduced very quickly after Guy's a physical brawl in the whatever to the villain of the story, the heel, if you will, Warden Heel, who is I mean, a little on the nose.
You're not
Come
even.
on.
Come on.
I didn't name them.
Yeah.
So
It was at that time that I remember that it was, this is one of those kind of anime.
one of those kind of anime. Yeah, we are introduced to Warden Heel in The Heights of Passion. As pretty much all Heel does in this is fuck, like a lot. get fucked, fuck, give fucks
Fuck
to
some
people.
more.
I can fuck some more, and then not anymore. But her big thing is that she is importing sex slaves to the prison, and I don't really know why, other than to motivate prisoners. Her motivations aren't
for
100%
yeah.
clear.
I know. I wrote down as like, so they're like a prison planet, a brothel, and an illegal pharmacy all at the same time. I have no idea.
Yes.
It's like
I have
the
no
best
idea if
version.
that's a translation thing or
The answer is
No.
yes.
It's the best version of CVS that we've been looking for.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's
So
your opioids and your punani.
it was
That's
one of those
exactly
things
it.
where it's like, how bad of a person do we want this character heel to be? And then the writers team's just like, yes. And it's like, what do you mean?
Take the dial and push it up.
Just all the bad. Everything.
everything
all the bad.
people hate, just
Just
keep
do
on
that.
adding.
And for some reason, and they don't explain this really either. There's an old dude living down in the bowels of this planet,
What was his
and
name?
he's a doctor. Dr. Vale.
In the
Yeah,
brain of
that
the
moment
planet.
in time, Rick instantly got his tits off.
So I wanted you to understand, I watched this with my wife in the room, but she wasn't watching. Here's the thing: she wasn't watching the anime. She was just in earshot of the anime. So after everything that transpires in this anime, just think of it from an audio perspective. Everything that transpires in this anime up to the point that the characters are all down in the bowels of these mines, and she hears the name Dr. Vale. She stops, she looks up from her book, and she goes, Dr. Vale? And I went, it's not spelled the same. And she's like, oh, okay, good.
Every time I hear something bad and the guy's name is Brian, I was like, is it a Y or a I?
It's very important. You gotta understand, not spelled the same. It's okay.
Dr. Vale,
Right.
not spelled the same.
So,
Okay,
we're
go
we're
back
good.
to your book.
That's
Twilight.
it. She went back into the book. So this, and I jumped ahead a little bit. Basically, Warden Heel, is importing these sex slaves to. I'm gonna use them as motivation for prisoners. That's how I'm approaching it. And she's telling the prisoners, you can. Actually, she sends her
Androgynous. I went with androgynous.
Thank you. Let's go with that. Her androgynous henchman person.
Just waxing her ass.
Just absolutely doing that. To go out there and talk to the prisoners. We've talked about this in another anime, and I can't remember which one it was, where they added swearing for no reason, just because they wanted to like ramp up the anime. This does that too. They add a lot of swearing for no reason. They add a lot of extra fucks and a lot of extra shits and things like that. And this character gets the most of them.
I gotta pause for a second.
Go ahead.
It's one of the things that when I watched it, I knew that I was going to be spending a lot of time absorbing details in this. And
Sure.
I'm so glad that I switched it on because we've spoken about the fact that Governor or the prison director Heel
Right.
is bringing girls
Yeah.
in, right?
Right.
And the scene where they show the girls the first time before they take them down.
Oh, you saw it. Okay, go ahead.
You know what I'm talking about?
I did. Yes, go ahead.
7 minutes and 35 seconds. You pan through the girls.
They're just showing all these gorgeous girls. Just
Gorgeous
breathtaking.
girls. And then there's this little kid.
Yeah. I saw because my eyes played trick on me. I was like, so what
Little roly-poly looking
doing
chunk
there?
motherfucker.
Who's tugging on one of the ladies? Whatever she had left of her clothing, and was smiling. I was like,
Oh man, I
was like,
died. I stopped it.
Are they a munchkin? I was
I s-
hoping they were like from Munchkin Land, and that's what happened. Like,
I stopped it and I went back. I did. I stopped it and I went back. I'm like, nah. Yeah.
Yeah. It
And then-
has
I
to
totally
be.
missed that.
It
It
has
is
to be an
never
Easter egg.
explained.
Ever.
Never
Yes.
explained.
However,
no, just gives you the heebie-jeebies. Like, I
Yeah.
felt like I was like, oh, we're breaking a law. I feel
This
like
is
we're
the-
breaking a law.
I am on a list. Like, that was it. I'm on a list. Here's the thing. He shows up again later.
Where
Ah.
When
did I miss that one?
he shows up
I missed
again
the second,
later.
sir.
So when the mines are caving in on the planet later in the episode, we're not spoiling anything. You're not going to want to watch this. So when the mines are caving in and everybody's like, and there's a PA system and they're like, everyone evacuate or whatever. They show a still shot of all the people, the prisoners. One of them's like holding a naked woman and they're like he's trying to get, like, everybody's like trying to evacuate. And in the center of the fucking shot, but pushed into the background, is somebody running holding that little fucking kid's hand. And that chonky roly-poly kid's just like a
It is that moment I realized they are fucking with us. They
Jimmy.
they look
Oh,
at that moment in time. I don't know how you guys took it seriously after that. I was like, it didn't. Yeah,
I stopped trying to really decipher what they were saying when he like broke the bars.
The bars, he like
And
just
then-
pulled them apart.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then she wanted to come with him, and he goes,
Mhm.
"Two's a crowd." I go, "Wait, what?
Right.
What's happening?"
And he goes, but in the dub, it's even better because he's like, choose your crowd when you're one of them. And I'm like, well, that's oddly specific. Like, it's not, it's like vague,
Where?
but not. Anyway, it
And
was
then
just,
I checked out. And I had to write this down. The theory is called panspermia. I don't know if anybody sausage.
Yes. I actually looked it up. It's a thing.
no, it's not. No. Victor.
I was like-
no.
It's the whole like in Aliens, you know how they used in Prometheus, the whole
Yeah.
colonized and pretty much created everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's good.
Wow.
The guy, Dr. Vale, says it's my panspermia theory. I was like, that's it. I'm done. Check. I'm done.
I'm done. Nope. Can't do it. We're done. Oh Jesus. So yeah, we gotta so this they pan through these girls and then the androgynous dude is like, you know, if you work really hard, you get one of these oils. And then they do this like weird chop shot thing where they show like a block of shadow like go over a guy's eyes like, oh, I recognize a person in this crowd.
right.
And then they
I've
do the
never
same-
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that used as a storytelling device since then. And they do the same thing when they go to her and they show the girl. What was her name? Clara, whatever.
Kara.
Doesn't matter.
Kara.
So
It doesn't matter.
shit, they show her, and you're just like, oh, okay, they got like, you know, history there, and you're just like, wow, all right, cool. So anyway, so they're sent down into these mines to get shit, and anybody that goes down there, like if you're down there, start turning into like one of these weird creatures from the thing, and everybody, like all the soldiers, like have to play it off. They're like, somebody get that rotting corpse out of here, and you're just like, no, that's no, that's
That
not.
was Billy. That was Billy,
That was-
inmate number 4492.
It's- he was just here. He went to pee, and this is what happened. Like, they're not. And so anyway, so they thought they could use pussy to inspire these guys to risk their lives. That's basically what I'm getting out of it. So Guy saunders off, no big deal. He's like, just gonna go look over here, and he finds Dr. Vale randomly wandering around.
Yeah,
No.
he basically goes, "Who's this old guy?" And just
I
goes
thought he
up to him.
found Vale later.
He finds Vale while they're down there. Like he wanders off. Right. Well, first he takes a lasso to the back. Right. Oh no, you're right, Brian. I jumped ahead. You're right. I jumped ahead.
He finds Dr. Vale when he breaks out of the jail.
When he breaks out of the cell after he pulls the bars.
Yeah.
And
So
the-
nothing
the
really
guys
of
are-
note.
The guys are having
Yeah.
their reward
Yeah.
moments. And
that's right. That's
I'm
right.
gonna put reward in quotes
There
because
you
that's not
go.
really.
No, not especially for all parties involved.
Ooh.
So you're right. Sorry, I jumped ahead because we talked about when he's pulling the bars apart and they sneak out.
Yeah.
And then they get separated.
Because
Uh,
at first he sees Kara, doesn't
Yeah.
fucking matter, goes
Right.
down, nothing
Yeah.
really happens, comes
Nothing.
back up,
Yep.
nighttime,
Right.
pulls bar,
Yeah.
goes to go find the warden. Guess what she's doing? Fucking Kara.
Fucking again. She's fucking Kara. She's riding Kara's face is what she's doing. It's not even.
I don't know if that's.
Um,
I think she was trying to kill her. I mean,
It's like, can you
Hey,
breathe? You need a
look,
snorkel? Like what?
I'm not. Look, there are worse ways to die in this movie.
No,
I'll
wait,
take
wait.
that
And
one.
I love the way the character heals. Just like, just think about all the other slaves you'll be saving if you just satisfy me completely. Like, well, there's my motivation for sure.
Right?
Not all heroes wear capes. Not all heroes wear capes. We
Right,
do
so
this for. You ride for Valhalla. Do this
they
shit.
do they
You gonna sit on my face and
Guy and Raina break in, and they catch her in this, and she attempts to attack them, but fails miserably, and
Kara says
is
I'm
being held.
stupid as shit. I knew
I-
you'd find me, Guy. Really? You knew this entire time Guy was gonna find you.
Right, just knew. Oh man. Nevertheless, Heel tricks them, and she escapes. I'm not going to tell you how because it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Now they're
Right.
escaping. Now they have to run and get out of here. Mind you,
They do
they have not gotten the thing that they came for.
at all.
No.
No.
So they're just trying to leave. In the first scene afterwards, they have now found weapons.
They do. They have weapons, grenades.
but they explain it. Kara
Yeah.
knew.
That's
While
right.
her-
She did.
while
She
was-
knew where the
While
armory
she was face
was.
deep in cooch, she knew.
She deciphered where the armory was from there.
She was just like, she was kind of looking around. She was just looking around. Is that a map? Oh, fascinating.
While she was face deep in cooch, she knew exactly where the weapons were and
You
how to
know
get
what?
them.
When you say it
And
like
how
that,
to get them.
he knew the codes to get there and everything.
She had
And
She had the
Now that you say
tattoo
it.
to the code right above her clit. So,
these things happen.
oh Jesus.
Why are we pretending like we have not been able to get the secrets to Grandma's recipe? Even with us.
I do not believe for a second that Kara had the mental fortitude to like get this information out of her. Like she was some masterful interrogator. She's like, I am gonna look this so good. She's gonna tell me everything I want to know. And
Look,
she
when
like
she told her you could save all the lives, she was like, I'm going to get everything. I'm gonna save the lives. I'm gonna get the bullets. Fucking Valhalla. Let's do this shit.
this. Oh Jesus Christ! Yes, she had the information somehow. Good for her. They found
here's the
weapons,
thing.
yeah.
Here's the thing: is she knew where all the weapons were, but she didn't know where clothes were. So the only thing she could do was do like a top knot at the crotch
Right.
and just run around.
Yes.
Ah,
With just a shirt. I don't even know where she got it from.
I don't know if it's sanitary or even.
And it had like a
clean.
little. It had like a little flower, like a corsage in it, and everything. So it
Mhm.
was from something
She knew where the
fancy.
flowers were. She knew where the
Somebody-
flowers were.
Somebody was dressing for a fancy thing, and she found that shirt.
Look, herbology and ammunition are always stored next to each other. Any military expert would tell you. Hey,
Bow to your better knowledge,
Oh.
Brian.
God damn this fucking anime. All right, so they're trying to escape. Yes, they're trying to escape. They have weapons, and it doesn't work out. Doesn't work out.
No.
They're going across the Star Wars bridge thing. Just they're trying to like recreate the intensity of that scene. Come on, Brian, don't give me that look. You know that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, that was kind of. That was.
Totally what they were trying to do.
it
then
hurts me though. It hurts me when you
Call it out.
bring George Lucas into shit like this. It hurts me.
My man. That whole thing was designed like the interior of Death Star, like on purpose. And they're just like,
There's no way around that.
retract the bridge. And the other guy's like, okay. And he hits the glass because they had an emergency drop the bridge glass thing. And they hit it. Whole thing drops. And Guy, best friend to Raina, jumps and leaves the bitch. It's like,
He's
Just
Raina
left
and
left
Kara.
both of them. Left both of them. He turns like he knew he left them, and he turned
Oh,
around
yeah.
and he did like you know those people where they they say, "I called for you.
right.
Hello, hello."
I looked everywhere.
And
They just whisper.
I jumps when he makes it. The girls fall down.
Right. They
But
fall
Guy.
a long fucking way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Like it's
He-
like Hans Gruber fell less far than they did.
yeah. Which makes Guy a Christmas movie.
Watch it with the kids. So Guy escapes. Guy escapes,
But
and
it should have
fuck all,
been.
they're
It
done.
should have been opposite.
Right.
Yes.
So Guy should have been the one that was on the
Strapped to the table
back of the table, and the
Right.
girl should have been the one
to find
at the bottom
Dr.
because that's where they were.
Dale. They got sent down there, but they show it, but not like there's like a net mesh thing that they kind of hit is very faint. But I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's how they wrote this off. It's very faint. There's like a netting down because that's obviously if you have a retracting bridge, you're gonna only be able to catch whatever fell. You know,
Yes.
I know
Because it could have been an accident.
Could have been.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Lynette said yes, like that makes sense. That's perfectly.
The only thing in the whole thing that made
That's
sense.
it. 100%.
don't
You got a
understand.
retracting bridge. Like you might accidentally
need a
drop
safety
Yeoman
net.
Johnson. You got to be able to save him. It's just have.
You need a safety net. Always.
You know what?
Anyway.
You know what?
It's required by OSHA.
So there it is. Yeah. So Guy escapes. Raina
In the cavern.
and they don't. Yes. So Guy escapes. Guy finds himself down in the caverns because logistically, I give Guy credit for this one. They fell. I should probably go down there to go after them. So he traverses the whatever, and he gets all the way down into the mines. Where
Without
he
getting
finds
caught.
without getting caught. Because they definitely stopped once they retracted the bridge and he got away. They're like, well, fuck it. I guess he's. They just stopped looking for him at that point. It's
They saw
like,
him
oh,
make
shucks. He got away.
He's too smart for us. He's too smart.
Yeah. Versus. So now he's down in the bowels of the planet and he meets Dr. Vic, who in the dub.
I'm sorry. I don't think it was that doesn't sound like that was that was the dub. What's the name again?
Dr. Vale, but it's spelled different. So, I mean, he meets Dr. Vale, who in this dub is the just best Albert Einstein impression you will ever hear in your life.
Yeah. I can't even. Yeah.
Just it's 100% like
It's Albert Einstein, but he
Oh
looks like
my
Scrooge
God.
McDuck.
oh man, it's the Splanety. I can't even do the accent because it's so bad. Anyway,
And say all you gotta do is just say one word, panspermia. That's all you gotta do. Say that. You're good.
yeah, I got to work on my German accent. They went for it. They went in hard. It's an Albert Einstein impression. It's atrocious. It's hilarious. And he explains the whole idea of the planet is a living, breathing thing, and it thinks, and it's got all this shit. And Guy's just pissed at this because now he's like,
He's
I
on
mean, this
Twisted
isn't like-
Awa.
this isn't the Fountain of Youth. Like, fuck you.
He's on Twisted Awa. Basically.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, I didn't come here for blue people and shit. Fuck this. So he breaks his little card thing. Dr. Vale's like, no, don't do that. And then he tries to get the card back. And anyway, so at this point, more bad guys show up. And
Yep.
and being led by Frankenfurter. And he's like,
This motherfucker.
it's just,
Not only
a-
are you bringing Rocky Horror 2, is nothing fucking sacred to you.
not in this one, buddy.
Fuck.
So So
Nothing
he's here.
ever is.
And the it's such a funny line because he's like, the doctor's like, don't use your weapons down here and whatever. He's like, screw you, man, we're gonna do it anyway thing. And don't touch my sled. And he the old guy, they added it to the dub. It's not in the original. Like, bitches at Dr. Vale. It's not spelled the same, by the way. And he hits him with things, like tells him not to touch his sled. It's fucking funny. And they, of course, immediately ignore the doctor and proceed to open fire just randomly all over the fucking place for no reason whatsoever.
Like stormtroopers.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, except they're hitting shit.
Motherfucker.
So
Look, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say this, George. I know you listen to us. It's these
All the time.
uncultured heathens that keep on bringing our beloved Star Wars into this podcast. I do my best to keep it out, unless
you do.
I'm talking about it in love and reverence. But these
It's
motherfuckers,
true.
though,
It's true.
we're shook 'em.
So Dr. Vale, not spelled the same, he's very upset. And the soldiers have unleashed a hellfire on this place. And
They
all
have
of a
not
sudden,
listened to him.
the planet wakes the fuck up.
Ewa,
Just gets angry, real
this
angry,
batshit crazy.
Mhm.
and starts going just apeshit on these, turning all these soldiers into monsters. It's just everybody, like, it's the thing.
And we're not
It's
talking.
the-
And we're not talking about good-looking monsters.
right. It's not. This isn't Rise of the Lycans. Okay, this is like fucking The Thing. Like, everybody's like goo.
Right.
Like, these
Right.
weird, gooey, tendril, like, disgusting. Like, it's right out of horror. And so then Frankenfurter dips. He's like, "Oh hell no, I'm out." And then Dr. Vale, again, it's
Actually,
not spelled the same.
actually,
Don't leave me, and he fucking like dips. It's so funny. Sorry,
no. Frankenfurter runs out of ammo.
he's right. Well, but in the God damn it, Brian. In the fuck.
in the dub,
In the dub. Go ahead.
he goes, "Oh shit, I'm out of bullets." And then he turns around and dips.
But after a very long session of, you want some? Huh? You want some too? Take this. It's all
Oh shit,
like, it's
I'm out of
really
bullets.
shit. I'm out of bullets. Turns around and dips.
And
It's
they say like, right, he has to go and reload, and while he's there, he can go pick up a flower, because as we realize, herbology is right next to ammunition.
that's
So,
where they keep it. Oh fuck. So he dips, and Dr. Vale's like, "No, please don't leave me." And Dr. Vale gets immediately devoured, and it's hilarious.
he's
It's
been
not supposed
down
to be.
there this entire time.
Entire time, peacefully,
Safe.
apparently.
That's over there taking samples
Yep.
in his white coat.
Of course.
It's
And
not
that's how you
dirty.
know he's a scientist.
That's how you know.
Gotta have- That's how you know.
And
so
so we've already established that everybody else gets turned into goo.
Yep.
Guy also gets infected
Guy also
Yes,
gets
he does.
infected. And
for no reason that is explained.
at all. At all.
Maybe because the guy's saying heritage.
Maybe maybe the planet just recognized the awesome.
Right.
Just like
They
He
recognize
said,
the
it
trick.
said those eyebrows
Yeah,
need
the
blow up, and there you go.
Yeah, that planet was like, this boy's got riz. We're gonna
This guy
him
is
up.
our guy. He's the guy.
He's the guy. The guy. All right. So
And
we cut
his transformation.
well, wait, hang on. We can't do that
can't-
yet, because we got to get to the next set of the next sex. Right? There's sex here that happened.
Sorry, Adam,
before you
about the
sh-
sex.
Yeah, I forgot about the sex.
I'm gonna put that in quotes. It's not really.
So we cut away, and Madam Heel, is packing, I guess, because she's not really participating. And her head goon, the biggest, baddest dude in the prison, he's got special time with our two heroines, and
They were
he's got
saved by
them-
the net.
who were saved by the net. He's got them chained up. And he's having his way with them using a pistol.
Instead of pistol whipped. Pistol clipped.
there you go. He's taking advantage of them. It's sexual assault of the highest order, and it's at this point that a monster comes in through the grating. I guess is how and I love this because he doesn't just kill this guy. It eats this guy all the way from the tip of his head to the bottom of his balls. And then it stops. He's just like, I don't need these legs. And bites the legs, just throws them to the side. He just takes the whole, eats them. And then is of course not sated. It needs to balance the dark meat and the light meat. So it's got to go get the girls. It's at this point that we are given the glorious reveal of Masami Obari's version guy as he bursts through the wall. As he bursts through the wall in full armor, just armored monster glory. Now, I want to point out that all the other monsters in this have been gooey, veiny, tendrilled, toothy abominations.
Abominations.
Yeah, Guy's monster version is Guy, but with blue skin and battle armor.
It's like if Guy was the final boss.
He found the power up. He just and he got his power up. So he is not any of these other adjectives. The planet turned him into a badass. Planet turned everybody else into goo, but him a badass.
It was the eyebrows.
Did we skip over Kara's fate just now?
No, not yet.
Oh no,
Not yet.
we're not there. We're not there.
Okay.
I want to talk about Kara's. So, fate of all of these, really, 10% of them, notwithstanding. So, Guy makes short work of this monster. Madam Heel
Super
dips,
easily.
barely an inconvenience. Dr. Heel dips. She's got bags full of gems. Greed, all that. Greed is yet another level of evil. They wanted to make sure the Heel had all the evil.
Mm-hmm.
So she dips. Guy saves his girls again, and they're gonna dip too. So they all dip, and they run into Madam Heel in the hallway. Madam Heel, she didn't pack her shit so good, so it kind of just falls everywhere, and she's busy. She's like, oh no, my jewels and precious gems and whatever. And they run into her, and she gets eaten. This is basically. She gets eaten. Or electrocuted. I don't really. She gets electrocuted. It's so she gets supercharged. She gets turned into a monster. Fantastic creature design because I was disgusted. Just
She turned into one of the worst.
look, man. I love a boob as much as the next guy, but there's some boobs there's some boobs you don't want, and these were those.
Wooden boobs is a close second.
Kara decides she's going to be the hero now. Despite the fact that I want to point out that Guy turned into a badass.
He turned from Guy to the Guy?
And then from the Guy back into Guy. And he's drained. He's emotionally drained. They were screaming his name and he was able to turn back into normal Guy. And so he's a little out of it. So Kara's I'm going to save the day. And she picks up a pistol. And she starts... she's firing on this heel beast.
Again.
And
2 shots worth.
And then the clip's empty. Clickety click, fuck. So
it's no one reloads their weapons in the future.
So she gets taken. She gets killed.
Pretty violently too.
Vividly killed. Very vividly.
They want to let you know she is not. There's no.
This will not be
retreat. They're going to fix this.
This will not be.
Now, I think I might go to hell for this one though. But when her head landed and she just looked like she was asleep, I kind of laughed a little. I was
I did too. Why I
how it landed.
That's what I laughed. It landed upright. I'm
I laughed
damn.
a lot.
I was like, wow, she won the coin toss.
And they do not pull the punch, man. Heads or tails? Heads. So that thing, it pops off like a kid playing with a GI Joe. That shit just pops right off, and but it lands upright.
Yes. And I swear they kind of drew it to where she had a little bit of a smile on her face. I don't know,
Like,
could be just me
I won the
imagining things.
toss. Is at this point that Raina loses her shit, and Guy snaps. Guy
'Cause
snaps. He
Apparently,
goes Super
he's been
Saiyan.
in love with Raina the entire time.
No, with Kara. Apparently, he and Kara were like a thing. Like they were hot and heavy because he clearly had feelings for her.
There
And
was
her
some
death.
flashbacks there.
Her death. Yeah, there's some flashbacks to some history there. Absolutely important plot details that they spent plenty of time on. And he goes Super Saiyan. It's straight out of DBZ. Like there's the shaking and the hair's like flowing and like the energy's
Vegeta, I told you. It's off
seriously. So then yeah, he turns into the Guy again.
Hey,
and
her hair is blue like Bulma.
Makes very short work of the heel monster. Because that's what Guy does. The Guy powered up version. Once he's out, fight's gonna be over in a second. It's the form blazing sword. So they defeat this beast. And then they don't really like get into it, but they're now off the planet on a spaceship,
Yeah.
sort of orbiting the planet. Like, no big deal.
Oh.
Guy is back to Guy. Was that?
Yes.
They're broke. So
Yeah.
everything they went to do,
Yeah.
did not do.
Didn't work out.
Yes.
Didn't work out.
They stole the ship from the human trafficker that brought and they're on his ship. And they decide, well,
They
they're
left
gonna
everybody else.
Here's the thing. Here are the things I want to talk about. One, they left everybody there, and Guy is perfectly fine to lean back in his chair and go, 10% of the people on this planet lived. How about that? Not bad. None of them are on his ship. So.
And they've
That's
already
one.
waken up the planet and it's
Yeah.
pissed.
Right. That's one. Two, roly-poly kid. He didn't make it either, I think. Not important. But three, he is completely unaffected by the fact that his longtime love lost is dead at this point. At this point, he's arms behind his head. Well, we didn't make that score, kid. I don't know what we're going to do next. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that your girlfriend's head got popped. Like, nobody. We're not going to
We
talk
ain't
about
got
that at all.
time for that. We're
not going to talk about. There's no emotional trauma here. We ain't got nothing to talk about. We're fine. Oh, by the
We're
way,
not going to talk about the fact that now you're a demon.
right.
He processed and healed. It's fine.
Just, hey, we're out of gas. Like that's, it's like the thing's we're at a thing. And then Raina loses her shit at him, and he's mean as fuck to her because he always is. And that's it. Fade to Black, episode 1. Episode 1.
That's it.
We talked about that for a while. Yeah, Vic. Episode 2 comes out a couple years. It's been years. So they made one Guy, and then we got years of downtime before they managed to scrounge together enough budget to make a second episode. And it starts off.
People had to be proven. They had to convince people to get another shot at this.
Starts out in a goddamn casino. They're in freaking Monte Carlo, like doing some shit. It's got the jazzy like theme song going. There's like a big, like a battle happening, and it's the character intro. And you're supposed to be like remembering that these people are, they're friends. And it's supposed to be like this playful, like James Bondy soldier of fortune bullshit thing, and as a setup. And to remind you who these characters were, or who they really wanted you to think they were. And they decide, all right, well, we're going to find our next score. So I heard about this.
That's what it is. That's what it
thing.
is.
Yeah.
Pissed off Vegeta meets the voice of Guy from Naruto. It's pissed off Vegeta meets Guy. And that's the guy.
They go to this planet. I'm not even going to get too much into this. They go to this planet because he wants to seek out this golden goddess statue. It's the ultimate treasure. It's their big score. We're not going to have to work anymore after this one, kid. So they get to this planet.
Last ride.
And that's it. And there's this like floating palace thing, and Raina's like, "Oh wow, I've heard about this place," and he's like,
But it is
'cause that's right."
designed. I think the design of that was beautiful. Whole
Absolutely.
whole bridge leading up to a floating sky. I thought that was, and it had like a big ass lake around it that was surrounded by walls. I thought that was designed brilliantly, and then you see that everybody else is in ruins.
Yeah, which is just on par for religious organizations, really. So it's very on the nose with it because this is Guy. We're not going to get deep with it. Basically, religious zealots control the planet, and they want to rule. They rule the planet with an iron fist. They get everybody to give them their money, and they get God out of it. Basically, the people. They get religion, so good for them. They have some power between them. These two priests, leaders. I don't know. So anyway, Guy
They
and
brother
Raina
and
decide.
sister.
I don't know. I
Don't
want to
know.
say no because I just don't want it to be that. So I'm gonna go with no. Guy and Raina have to come up with another scheme to endear themselves to these religious zealots because they want to get inside their church
Floating
so they can
castle.
get the golden goddess. So they invent this like abuse thing, this abuse story, and they do this big production in the middle of the street in front of them to get their attention. And Guy shoots at Raina with live ammunition because he's her best friend and they're partners, and he does not put his partners at risk ever. Anyway, it works. They kick Guy's ass, and they take Raina with them to their castle in the sky.
I think we skipped over the whole sex part they had first too.
Did they have sex first, or does that come later?
I think the
they
sex
both
came.
come.
That came after they got Raina into the
Yeah,
castle.
after they get Raina in the castle, they both come later. So, so they make their way into. They make their way into. They get her into the castle, and they're like, "You're gonna live here with us forever and find glory and light and whatever." This episode is so
Zoltan.
much. There's so much less story to this episode than the last one, and that says something that they stripped episode 2 down on story. It's like
significantly.
We're already like halfway through the episode. It's honest to God. So
they have the ability. Really, the only thing they have the ability to paper summon.
Yeah, that's it. They could do talismans, and they like right in the air, and they get like a talisman, and bad shit happens. It's their power. It's their power set. Then they fuck. They fuck
Yes.
because they have to, because that's the kind of anime we're in. So these two priests, they and I want to be clear, one is gendered male, one is gendered. So I say priests, I don't want you thinking, get your heads out of the gutter. So these two people, they fuck.
Yeah. And I think I need to speak to the endowment of my guy.
Go ahead.
Because he has on these big ass shoulder pads with robes and layers of clothes, and he's able to pull that to the side, still have sex. My boy is packing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
packing.
Yeah. That's where his power comes from. So anyway, they're pretty evil. And Raina kind of figures that out, and she gets busted because she catches them fucking, and or she catches them. Actually, she catches their leader like decapitating a dude and being like, "Give me more money or else." So then they brainwash her and they turn her into a cultist, unbeknownst to Guy, who has now made his way into the castle, church, whatever. And
the Iron
he's
Man
like,
suit.
Yeah, with an Iron Man suit, which again, very cool. It was a very cool, very cool, and immediately gotten rid of and not used ever.
Felt like he really didn't need it.
Then why have it at all? But
Exactly.
I digress. So he gets in there and he rescues Raina, and they're gonna go. He's gonna go
Look for the statue.
Yeah, he's looking for the golden goddess statue. And the I don't know. They get busted, and you find out Raina's actually under mind control. Not that we as an audience were not aware, plainly obvious.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, what
Yeah.
happens when you get captured and they cut to the next scene?
That's it.
You got mind
And
control.
she attacks Guy because the mind control priest kid, he's like, do it, do it. So she attacks Guy, and Guy does jack shit about it. Like, look, I am all for helping your loved ones break out of a cult-like mental control state. Absolutely. Whenever you get a loved one and they're mind controlled, you want to help them out. I do truly understand that.
But sometimes you need to slap the shit out of them.
You don't, yeah. So, cutting to our previous episode, Devil Hunter Yoko, when you have a friend who's under mind control, you punch the living shit out of them. You do not let them stab and gut you. It's not just, she like stabs him once and he's like bleeding from his arm profusely. And he's like, Raina, I don't understand what's going on.
Don't you love me? I'm the guy.
You okay? Like, this is a little weird for you. I don't understand what's happening. And then he lets her do it again. And this time she gets him but good. So it's the second stab that he's like, oh, okay, you're kind of fucked up. Like, I can't, like, I'm gonna have to, like, this ain't okay. You should, like, let's stop now. And then she wakes up. There's, like, barely an issue.
Yeah, I mean, like, from the stab, not from a declaration of love, not from
nothing. Just,
nothing.
I stabbed Guy.
The fuck are you doing? Oh, my bad.
She.
It should be tripping. I mean, it was just so easy.
Yeah, it happens all the time. What are you gonna do? So anyway, she breaks out, and they engage. Like there's a fight. There's like a fight. I don't know. It's just this episode sucks, guys.
Yeah.
It really did.
I don't know how to help you with this. They get into a fight. Raina is broken from her mental spell. She tries to help Guy, so she blows up the fucking golden goddess thing. Like, it's all blown to shit by the end of this. The whole fucking castle's blown to shit. And then Guy's pretty upset with her about it.
They do a Conan the Destroyer where they become the new chosen vessels of.
Oh yeah, they form. That's right. They fusion into like a super deity thing, and then they get their ass whipped.
And then they get their ass whipped. Not even difficult.
Not even.
The thing waited a whole millennia for this shit to happen.
And then
they were taken out way too easily.
Yeah, and they're dying, and the shit's gonna blow up, and she's like, "You have to leave," and he's like, "I'm not going anyway."
Oh,
and then
the English dub we talk about. That's fucking dumb. Oh my gosh.
Fucking dumb.
Guy is getting ready to, when the guy was getting ready to transform,
you
catch what he said?
What'd he say?
Here we go again.
It's really not.
Are you serious?
I can't make this shit up, guys. Listen, I know half of y'all did. I know you two didn't watch. I highly recommend.
Look,
you just give it one more shot, but watch it dubbed.
You gotta watch it English dub.
Just give it one more shot, but watch it dubbed. Really, you will hate us, but it will be worth it.
You're missing out on
gold.
It is Rotten Tomato gold. Like,
here's the thing: it doesn't. None of this fucking matters. That's why we skimmed through this last episode, really, because it doesn't. This episode's dumb. This whole thing's dumb. But this is where the two countries were operating on two different wavelengths.
Okay? Oh, yeah.
The Japanese production company, they thought they were making a sexual horror, adventure, sci-fi amalgamation thing. This was going to be big. This is going to be a big deal for them. And then it came over here to the West, and the dub team looked at it and said,
no, we're going to make this a
great
cop.
laugh.
You know what? Everybody likes, like, B movies. Let's go B movie. And that's
First
how it's
Tromaville
like,
B movie.
It is thank you, Brian.
Yes.
It's like if Tromaville dubbed it. It's really like they said, "What if it was funny?" So what if it was
Right.
all of this other stuff? It was science fiction, it was horror, it was sexual, it was adventure, it was all the. But what if it was funny? And then they decided to dub it that way, and that's what we got. So yeah,
I would go
It's the
so
only-
far to say they wanted to make Raina the worst character in the history of anime.
I don't know if they
Like-
went that far, but they.
Come on, at least Ben May.
Yeah, the
At least-
localizer just did not like her at all.
I don't
No,
think so.
nah. I will take hanging out with creepy kids
Hi.
from fucking Akira.
All the old children.
Oh, they're right.
Yeah, the
Well,
old
Brian, those are
children.
your
no.
favorites.
All right, we're gonna wrap up.
It
This is-
doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter.
Noth-
We're gonna wrap
look,
up. Guy
we're-
beats them, and then they're on the spaceship again. This time it's a nicer
Yes.
spaceship. I don't think they stole it. They're on a nicer spaceship, and she starts losing her shit again. And then she talks about Guy grabbing her tits. This is how anime ends. I want you to understand, listeners. This anime ends. It ends with a fade to black as she is she's losing her shit at Guy, and then she accuses him of grabbing her boobs. And
and they're still broke.
And his response was, "I wouldn't want to grab those little boy boobs anyways," or something
There you
along
go.
those lines.
yeah,
And
that's
I
it.
was like, oh, now I'm on the list.
That's
I
how
don't
this
know.
ends. That is how this anime ends. I didn't make it up. We can't make this shit up.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I had so
yeah.
many questions, and then I was afraid to ask the questions because they all referred to that phrase, little boy
Uh-huh.
boobs," and I was like,
Yeah.
if I ask those questions, I'm gonna be on the list. That's what's gonna
Mm.
happen. I can't
Mhm.
ask those questions. It's not a safe. This
I
isn't a
don't-
safe space.
I don't know how to address what this anime is. So I'm not gonna. We're just gonna go right into final thought. Because I
Oh,
feel like everybody's got something they want.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let
I have
Lynette
a
go
lot.
first.
Oh, it broke me. I don't know. This these 2 episodes, they broke me.
I'll make you feel
I
better.
was like, it's like I was like, okay, this is in the adult animation section. All right, I'm expecting it. I don't know what's happening now. I don't know if it's adult with. I don't know.
Right. You weren't we
The-
did not prep you at all. Did not
No
prep you at all.
KY was used on this. No
Nah,
KY.
You
It
were
was-
fully
It was
unprepared.
not. It was not.
We
I
said it
was
like,
not
hey, let's
prepared.
watch guys.
Uh-huh. Very
'Cause
casual.
we all came
Yes.
to this as a collective decision, and we all said Guy is the one we should watch right now.
Absolutely what happened. We all collectively agreed, except for
And me and
Lynette.
myself, I went, okay, that sounds. I've never seen it before, but
Man.
what could go wrong?
Everything.
Everything went wrong.
Ah,
I have everything down to like the 80s armor. You can't have a bad guy unless they have the 80s armor, which is like the shoulder pads to where they can't go through doors, and the
Yep.
helmet that is like enough to fit 3 heads in there. And then the what is it? It was a prepare to die most unpleasantly. Was
Most
what
unpleasantly.
The most polite way to say you're gonna die.
That yes is a line that they used in the dub too. By the way, they definitely did that in the dub, too. And it was a little more
And then-
robotic when they did it. Prepared to die most unpleasantly.
unpleasantly. And then he rips off his horns and makes a super sword. He turns into He-Man. I
He
have
formed
the
blazing
power.
sword.
And just cuts the thing in half. So he wins.
Yeah.
Somehow he rolled a 20 in all of that, and
Natural
horns
funny.
into the sword.
Yep.
And
Facts.
I was like, what is happening between the panspermia, the die most unpleasantly, and the horn swords? I was done. I so at the end of this hour, I was like, I don't know what happened to me, but I need to take a nap now.
Yeah. It's like that. You're not wrong. So now, Lynette. Lynette, I just. How do you feel like this is? You feel like this anime holds up? You feel like maybe younger audiences should pick up Guy, Double Target?
Like if we had the younger audience watch this now, we'd get canceled in less than 2 seconds.
The first on the as soon as Guy opened his mouth, we would have been canceled.
So he opened his mouth in the dub version, we'd be canceled. We would no longer have a podcast. So I would tell the younger audiences, don't go watch this. Unfortunately, I'd recommend, not unfortunately, watch Yurusuke Doji before you listen to it.
Wow.
Doji respects women more.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it left me.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
That's
This
what
is
said. It broke me. It broke me.
like this is another reason why we need to start recording these things, because they need to see exactly how red Lynette's face is right now.
Breathe. Can't breathe.
Oh fuck.
Jesus, red as a cherry tomato.
All right.
Yes, it's
Thank you, Lynette, for that very insightful closing thought. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Vic. Vic, you get to go next. Vic, how do you feel about Guy?
Oh boy.
Here he comes.
So-
Here comes the bullshit.
I found it
So
to be a
first things
profound
first.
piece of Shakespearean theater. No, go ahead.
I literally, like, the first sex scene, it's like I had to pause it, and it's like I had to text Rick, and it's like, I totally forgot this is one of those kind of anime. Totally forgot. It's been so long since I've watched it.
Facts.
But so then, after 5-10 minutes of me just laughing at that I actually sent that, sit there, watch it, then we'll get to the panspermia thing. It's like, it sounds so outrageous. I bet you that is a real theory, and sure enough, it is.
God damn it. It's a
I
terrible
looked it
name.
up and it exists, and it's like, oh crap, at least they did some homework for it. But the pacing and timing of the first episode felt like they were aiming for something a bit longer, and it got cut short, which par for the course for things from the 80s and 90s. Like we mentioned before, the animation quality and design was actually not bad at all. It's pretty good. It's just pacing was off, the writing was bad, the dub was horrible, which, again, par for the course for OAVs from the 80s and 90s. After finishing it, it's like, okay, do I really want to watch the second one? It's like, I have to watch the second one. It's like,
You
I
have
was
to, yeah.
so disappointed in the first one. It's like, okay, so I carried that disappointment, started the second one, and it's like, the second one, I noticed, while the design wasn't as good as the first one, I noticed I'm not sure if it was the mastering or anything, because the first one, the first few minutes, it's like, you could tell, it was a DVD release.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very, very poor encode, because there was a lot of color blurring, a lot of things that you wouldn't get nowadays. You wouldn't even get 10 years ago. The second episode, it's like, the animation techniques got clearer. So, darks were dark, brights were brights and everything. But that was it. It didn't have the design flow from the original. And that also disappointed me. And then the fact that the original obviously was straight up hentai, whereas the second one felt more along the lines of something like, what's the one I'm thinking? God, why am I drawing a blank now? The second one felt along the lines of like Crying Freeman. It's like, you get the sex, but it's not like blatant hentai. It's more like, late night HBO type stuff.
Got you. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So, it's like a totally different category. And it felt like with the second one, they attempted to go for like a series. Whereas the original was the pilot, the second was a series, and they would have ended it off with a to be continued, which we never got.
Never ever happened.
Never got. So it's it's like many others that we reviewed. It's like it had the opportunity to be good, but it dropped the ball at every single chance it got. And so, do I recommend people to watch it? Probably not. If you just happen to have the DVD, and well, you probably already watched it.
That's a
do I
great
suggest-
question. Do you have it on DVD? Is this part of your Laserdisc collection?
It is not a part of my Laserdisc collection. I have to go through my DVDs. I don't recall.
This is fair.
I've got a few hundred DVDs from
That's
late
fair.
90s on, so I don't know. Again, could have been good. It wasn't. Not worth the time or effort.
All right. I appreciate that. All right, B, you are up, good sir.
I'm speaking
Guy.
for myself and also Dr. Vale, as well as Mr. Valet over here. We
It's
loved
not
it.
spelled the same.
We loved it. We thought it was. No, I can't Ponyo this.
You can't. There's no.
Can't Ponyo.
No.
Nothing matters in this anime. Nothing matters. If you
But your opinion matters, Brian.
No, I'll tell you. My opinion is don't even. I hate it when you set something up and then you, along with cut the story quickly, they at least give you some type of closing as opposed to just like it's a shit closing, but nothing matters in it. They come off probably broker than when they went in.
Right.
Because
It's
they
true.
had to spend money to buy for the Iron Man suit.
Right.
I used once, and they didn't come back and pick it up and put it back in a briefcase. They just dropped it on the floor and kept on
Yeah.
going.
And he's like,
Nothing-
well,
Right. Nothing matters in here. Both of the things that they were going for, they destroy. Or it's not what they thought. Or roll credits. I mean, so if they don't want it to matter, I'm just going to go ahead and say even more. I would even go so far to say that I really feel that Rayla, whatever the fuck her name is,
yeah.
she is probably the most useless person in anime. In May, I would have said it, but at least she could sing, and that shit works until Macross too. I mean, she's worthless. I'm surprised that Lynette did not cast her in the same bin as Pie.
As Pie? Wow.
Oh,
Man.
I didn't even remember her really. So Pi has more memory than
Pie is
than
more
Raina.
memorable than Raina.
yeah.
All right.
Well,
So
that's like
Brian,
who?
Yeah.
so that's a no on youthful audience seeking.
I would go put this into the category of somebody says if your friend said they're going to jump off a bridge, would you jump off with them?
Oh, fuck that shit. Are you pulling that old adage out? Come on, man. You better than
Wait,
that.
how old are you, Brian?
We're mindless midlife, not boomers watching anime. What the fuck? Come on. All right,
Look,
listen.
we lured Lynette into watching this.
We did.
She should have said no. She should have said,
Enjoying
you
it.
know what?
You signed up for this. You knew what you were getting.
I'm living on the edge.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. So, no,
right.
I can't recommend.
Okay.
I won't recommend this to anybody. Matter of fact,
all right.
I'm ashamed that we all collectively decided that this is one that we were going to watch because
Collectively,
Except for me.
absolutely
I,
was
I
not.
was I was just a passive passenger.
This was not a decision that was made by any one single person
no,
on this panel at all.
I
It was
I
not
imagine if it was, his name is Brian and it was spelled with a Y.
with a Y. Absolutely. It's definitely not spelled the same. All right. Listen, guys, I hate to go against the grain on this, but I 100% recommend. I'm not bullshitting you. I absolutely recommend this. Here's to who. See, to whom I am recommending this.
Like,
People on the Jeffrey Epstein list.
This is for
Immediately.
This is for fans of Samurai Cop. This is for fans of Attack of the Killer Tomato. This is for fans of Attack of the 50-Foot Centerfold. This is for fans of really blatantly bad movies. This is the Joe Bob Briggs middle of the night B movie trailer. That's what this is.
Yeah, I think your description is quite accurate.
That is the only audience for whom I can recommend this anime. Because for anyone else, casual anime viewer, mindless midlifers like our people who just are looking for a way to kill an hour on the weekend and they don't know what to watch literally anything else. No. If you're really like dedicated to watching bad B movie schlock, this is for you, but watch it dubbed because it's laughably bad dubbed. So you got to remember the Western audience or the Western production, they made it a B movie. The Japanese production thought they were giving you an elevated science fiction act. They were wrong. ADV, for all the flack they get for their dubs in the 90s, and it is deserved. Everyone remembers Samurai Showdown. That was bad.
This is worse.
It's worse.
Infinitely worse.
But it's intentionally bad. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they took this material and they knew this could not land any other way than to be notoriously bad B movie schlock. And they leaned into it. Bad accents, over-the-top acting, ad-libbed lines. This is 100% that audience. Vic's right. Guy is really well done. It's beautiful. From a technical standpoint, this is fantastic animation. It's really well done. You could buy a cell from this anime and people would be like, holy shit, that looks great. You will get nothing but compliments from it because visually...
On top of that, we're going to see a cell of this anime on like social media and people are like, "Guy was awesome." Like, what the fuck film were you watching?
You lie. You haven't watched it in 30 years.
People absolutely remember this based on the visuals alone. And they're going to be, that was an amazing anime. And they're not remembering the substance. Don't do it. Don't remember this fondly. This wasn't good. This wasn't good.
Yeah, no, and the time that it was released, I mean, the audience is obviously knowing who this is for. This is for like the 14, 15-year-old kid that walked into a Suncoast video because they didn't check ID. And it's like, oh, this looks cool. Ooh, soft cell pictures. I know what this is.
Yep. Did not care. Nobody at Suncoast Motion Picture Company cared that you were buying hentai. They did not fucking care. They wanted to make the $35 for that video cassette.
And we want to tell you, it looks phenomenal.
It does.
Even the sex scenes is really well.
They're really well
animated.
Done. Yes.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that I can credit towards this. It was the art was amazing.
Seriously, don't do this. Don't do this to yourself. This was so bad. I spent an exorbitant amount of time coming up with a closer for this, and I don't have one. So on that, I'm just going to say, that's going to do it for our show. Until next time, keep calm and don't fucking watch Guy.
You've just been privy to the mindless midlife musings of the anime nerd, presented by Geek Grotto. For show notes and corrections, or for general geeky fun, you can visit our website at geek-grotto.com. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast app, please like, follow, and subscribe.